possible. We do not know. But we don't have faith with anything, that is the problem. And our faith is short-lived. And it has got an agenda. If this works, then okay. If that works, then okay. Then only. No. Nothing works like that. Have that faith, total faith. That unconditional faith. There is no conditionality attached. The love towards Lord must not have any conditions. Unconditional. At the same time, please remember, be authentic in life. Be an authority in life. Don't be authoritative. You may be an authority, but don't be authoritative. Bow your head. You may know many things, but at the same time, deliverance is very important. How you deliver. Is it hurting to the other person or not? We are not supposed to hurt the other person, for the Lord resides in anybody and everybody. So when we convey with a lot of politeness. You convey it in such a way that you are very polite. There is nothing wrong in disagreeing on a point. It's not necessary you should agree with everything. But when you disagree, politely convey it. Sir, I cannot agree to this because my wife will think otherwise. You might have to ask her. You must convey it. You must politely convey it. Anything you convey, politely you say, it's not possible. I'm sorry. You need not get agitated for that. I have seen sometimes people get agitated even while conveying. I don't know what for. Never take a decision when your mind is deluded. I will tell you a story of Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was going in the forest. Hot day, very hot day. He was going in the forest. Suddenly with Ananda, he asked Ananda, I feel very thirsty. Can you get me some water? Ananda said, where will I go? Suddenly you are asking me water in the forest. You may be a master. You will ask something and I can get it. How is it possible? From where will I get that? No, Ananda, while we were coming on the road, on that muddy road, I saw some water. Probably it has rained a little bit back, some summer rains. You take some coconut shell, get some water with that water. There's nothing wrong. Ananda went and came back. It's very muddy, master. It's totally muddy. I think some vehicle has gone. It's all in shambles. After that, Buddha was talking to Ananda for about 10-15 minutes. He said, now you go and see the water, how it is. He went, he got the water, he gave it to the master. Ananda, you said the water is muddy, but it is crystal clear. Did you make any magic or something? How did I get a crystal clear water? No, master, there was mud half an hour back. But in this half an hour, the mud got settled and there was clear water. So Ananda, the mind is also like that. Is it that mind is sometimes muddy? If you allow it to settle, the mud will settle and you can see some clarity in your thinking. Ananda said, yes, master, you are right. Never take a decision when your mind is clouded. No doubt now you are talking on cloud computing. I don't know what to say from this. I do not know. They are passing something. Mine is also, I just, I don't know. I have a very superficial knowledge about all this. I don't know what it is. So clouded, mind gets clouded sometimes. When mind gets clouded, be very silent. Silent is a very beautiful word in English. If you rearrange the word silent, comes the word listen. Just try to rearrange the word silent. You will get a beautiful word, listen. If you are silent, you can listen. If you want to listen, you have to be silent. If the mind is very agitated, you can only hear, you cannot listen. If the mind is very silent, you can always listen. So silence is very important. For something to be listened and to deliver, first we have to grasp, then deliver. All the Sishyas of Gautam Buddha were sitting and meditating for 4 hours. After 4 hours, Buddha opened his eyes. Now the Sishyas asked, Master, now what we should do? Arey, 4 hours you have meditated. 4 hours you have accumulated so much of positive energy. Go distribute it in the village and then come back. You are not supposed to keep on accumulating energy. Once you accumulate energy, you have to go inside the village, distribute it to people, come back, empty yourself and come back. Empty your mind. Now your mind is full. If you want me to pour something more, it will overflow. Empty your cup and then come back to me so that I can fill it up once again. So when you do some lot of prayers, when you come to the temple and pray, when you have a lot of positive energy, go and distribute it somewhere. Give it to people. Your very presence, by your very presence being in the midst of others who are suffering, their sufferings, they will be off their sufferings. You will be carrying a lot of positive aura. Once you go to the temple and you pray, you will have so much of energy. This temple has got that capacity to bless you with a lot of positive energy. This temple is built on such a beautiful land which is more natural. North and east is sloping, south and west is up. It is naturally placed in such an environment. It has got very beautiful aksharas. Grab this opportunity, take this energy, go elsewhere, give it to people who are suffering. There may be people who will be having some incurable diseases. Distribute it to them. They will be out of it. For this, you have to believe in faith. For this, you have to believe that you are going to be the source of a miracle. We are all energy sources of the miracle of God. That's the beauty. You are an energy source. You are the point. You have got. You are the receiver. Once you receive, you will transmit. You have both functions, receiver and transmitter function. Both is available inside you. But that is possible provided we have a silent mind. One more story from Buddha. I like this guy a lot. Very nice guy, sweet guy. A very learned Sanskrit scholar came to Buddha. His name was Maulingapata. He came to Buddha. Sir, I have some doubts. I am a Sanskrit professor, a Pandit, a scholar. I have a lot of doubts. Normally people who read more will have doubts. Why? They read, they don't study. There is a difference. When you are with a teacher, he teaches you to read. When you are with a master, he makes you to study. That is the difference. So with the teacher, when we accumulate knowledge, we read a lot of subject. There are always answers missing for many questions. So I have a thorough knowledge. I am a scholar in Sanskrit, sir. I have a lot of doubt. I have come to you. Somebody said Gautam Buddha is the master who can clarify your doubts. So I have come to you. Kindly, master, clarify my doubts. Buddha smiled and said, one thing you do, you be with me for 2 years. Then I will reply your questions. You just be with me for 2 years first. You be with me for 2 years. After that, I will reply all your doubts. Now Sariputta is one of the chief disciples of Buddha. He said to Maulingapata, Maulingapata, my master is very clever. I also came like this 2 years back with a lot of doubt. This fellow asked me to stay with him. Today I have forgotten everything. In fact, there is nothing available in my mind. He has made me so silent. I have come out of it totally. This man is very clever. He is so clever, deadly clever. So if you have doubts, please insist my master to say now itself. This is one of the tactics he uses against every fellow walking into this monastery. I have been watching this. Since I know you, I have to warn you. Maulingapata and Sariputta were good friends. Since you are my friend, I am warning you. Don't be carried away by the charisma of my master. He is very clever. He is very shrewd. Maulingapata said, once the master has given an instruction, I am supposed to follow it. That is what my teachers told. But don't worry, I will be very careful, very alert. I am not like you. I will be very alert. Maulingapata stayed for 2 years with Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha smiled after 2 years and asked him, Maulingapata, 2 years back, you said you came with some doubts and all you wanted me to clarify. Maulingapata was blinking. Sariputta said, this is what exactly I told you. You did not understand what I said. I have undergone that. This master is capable of silencing you totally. After that silence, you will not have any doubts at all, for you would have forgotten the subject itself. That is the beauty of my master. Gautam Buddha had the perfect art of silencing the mind. Whatever he did it that way. Masters are so beautiful. That's the wonder. Once you go to them, you will go with so many questions. They will simply give you some replies totally not connected with it at all. They will give you replies. You will be pondering over the replies. Slowly you will forget the questions. That is the beauty of these masters. Gautam Buddha was one such master who had the capacity to silence the mind, like Lord Krishna. Once the Gopas and Gopikas came to Krishna, they will come with a lot of things, mind my plan. That they would like to ask Krishna this question, that question, that question, that question. Once they saw Krishna, they will totally forget everything. Krishna will go on teasing them by asking, you came with some doubt, what is it? Doubt ఏమీ లేదే. ఇప్పుడు ఏమీ లేదు. Once they come back home, suddenly that doubt will come to them. They will once again rush to Krishna. He will simply smile. They will forget the question. They will come back. This is the Mohanam of Lord Krishna. Wherever the Lord is there, He makes you to forget yourself and He silences your mind. That is the beauty of the Lord. He enters your mind to that extent. He plunders your mind to that extent. He silences totally. And that silence is a meditative silence, not a murderous silence. Silence is of two types. One is a meditative silence. Another is a murderous silence. When you are shouting and fighting with your wife, when she wins over the argument, there will be a silence from you. That is murderous. Because inside that vengeance will be there to hit back. Just temporarily you are keeping your mouth shut because she is openly saying certain things about you, because that is all weakness of prenuptial days. You had vomited unnecessarily certain things and those things are coming back. That is our stupidity. At that time we fed with all that 3 months of information data is enough to ruin your life of 30, 40 years with that. Complete. That is murderous silence. I am not talking on that kind of a silence. But with the master it is a meditative silence. The very word meditation came from the root medication. Med is the word. From medication came meditation. It internally cures your mind. Somebody, meditation nowadays so many people are doing. Somebody came to me, Guruji, I am doing meditation. Very happy. Good. What Guruji, you are not asking me at all what meditation I am doing. How will I know unless you say? Okay, you want me to ask, okay, what meditation? I would also like to know now. There may be something which I don't know. Guruji, yesterday I was meditating. First I got a red, then the yellow, then the green. I said, you are caught in some signal. Red to yellow, green to yellow. See, stop. Already we are stupid. Why do you exhibit it? Meditation is on the whole. Meditation is not on a point. On a point, if it is called concentration. Concentration is not meditation. Dhyanam. What is dhyanam? What is dhyanam? What is dhyanam? Kshirodanva pradese. What is that? Dhyanam. Meditation. It's not concentration. Dhyanam is meditation. As you sit, you will see the Lord in anything and everything. That's the beauty of Dhyana. So when you bring the Dhyana Slokam, they say Dhyana Slokaha. What is Dhyana Slokaha? You have to imagine that concept in mind, and you must see the Lord in that every aspect of creation. How it is. Not mechanically doing it. You are saying in Rudram, no? You must be able to imagine the concept. Everything starts with imagination, and then it becomes a reality, from imagination to reality. From imagination to reality. First you are presuming, and that presumption is right. From Shabda comes Vichara. From Vichara comes Anumana. From Anumana comes Pratyahara. From Pratyahara comes Satya. From Shabda, as I talk to you, come some discussions between us. Unless we talk, there is not going to be any discussion. So basically, Shabda, from the words come about some discussions. As we discuss Anumana, doubts come. Automatically doubts come. Natural. The way I look at it may be different. The way you look at it may be different. We are all unique species. I don't think you are different. When I look at Priya, she is not different. When I look at Lakshmi, she is not different. When I look at Murali, he is not different. When I look at Malik, he is not different. They are all unique. Oh, Ram also I should say, he is fine. Looking at me, what will he, because he is president of our USA chapter of useless people. He does a very fine job. So, what happens? From that comes Anumana, doubt. From doubt comes perceptive ideas, Pratyahara, perception. Because everybody's thinking is unique, not different. If I think that you are different, I will become antagonistic of you. I will start saying, Peter, this is not all right. You should not be like this. Because I have started thinking that Peter is different. I don't think Peter is unique. If I think Peter is unique, I will always cherish him. Anything unique you will cherish. Anything you feel different, you would like that to perish. This is what happens. But in the system of nature, everybody is unique, so unique. Everybody carries their own ideas, their own perceptions, their own philosophy, their own thinking. Lord is playing this game. That is the beauty, that is his intelligence. Intelligence over creating such an illusory effect that we are all different. Actually, we are all unique. Then when I know that you are very unique, I would like to always cherish you. I would like, because this is a very unique thing, which I would like to keep it in my garden of flowers. In my garden I have got a lot of flowers. Every flower is so beautiful, very beautiful. Dahlia, daffodil. I have got various flowers, tulips, roses. Very beautiful. So every flower you see how unique they are, how beautiful they are. So it is unique. That uniqueness contributes to unique perceptive ideas from every person. Every person has got a perception. That is the beauty. You cannot say who is right, who is wrong. Because Lord is revealing things to him that way. I cannot say, no, this is not the way to think. It is not possible. Somebody told me, sir, whenever I go to Tirumala and see Lord Tirumaleshwara, Venkatajalapati, he always talks to me. Somebody told me this. Possible. I cannot say, hey, ये तो 70 कम है, बोल के. Because the problem is, to me it is not a possibility. Because that fellow is not opening his mouth with me. It's a problem. Whenever I go, I don't see the Lord also. Nearby somebody is there, Jargati. At least see the last two. That's all. By the time I have a glimpse of him, he is fed up with me. I am thrown out. That's all. This is what happens. One fellow will do like this. Hey, they are also fight. Why are you pushing? Are you pushing? Go, are 1 second. What is there? We don't get lost. They will let him push you. What is there? You also push like that. You enjoy the life there at that particular part. You don't touch me. Can't touch me. In that small gap of about 5 feet, there are already 200 people standing. So many people. I don't know, some heads and all here, suddenly from somewhere it is coming. Udra Admi. So much of rush, 1 second, one glimpse. In that one glimpse, somebody is able to have conversation with the Lord. Probably he is gifted. I cannot doubt what he says. I prostrate him. He is something big. Something very beautiful. Because perceptions for every person will be different. And from that perception, you get Satya, the truth. Everyone comes to know the truth in their own way. And I cannot say how you reach the truth or what you comprehend as truth. That is all the blessings of the Lord on you. He blesses you that way. And it happens. How it happens, why it happens, we do not know. But it happens. If you have faith, yes, you can imagine, you will know in that he comes. And you will enjoy it. Enjoy that moment. Be very happy you were with the Lord. The Lord danced with you for a moment, very beautiful, very nice. Don't go and tell anybody. Probably I can understand it. But others will say bioscope. Every 70 mama, extra, you will get hurt unnecessarily. Why go and tell that fellow? Because he cannot imagine, they don't know. Keep that. Never be vengeful in anything. Be gracious. Be giving. Don't worry about anything. Everything will come. Don't worry about anything. Lord takes care. Have that, you increase your faith to that extent that He will take care. He will certainly take care. Don't doubt at all. Don't bring your scientific mind. Your scientific mind is very dirty. It creates a lot of doubt. And you will be microscopically starting to view things. It will be very difficult. Have that faith, He will sail you through. have that very strong faith. Yes. And be determined. Totally. Don't have that